Hello, Adrienne. How are you doing? Nice to have you over for this podcast. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure, and I'm excited to dive deep into this topic. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. I'm so happy can be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Um,
you.
so, why don't we start from maybe the beginning, if there's anything that we can call beginning? Where are you originally from?
I'm from Hungary, but
Hmm.
I'm living in South Spain 7 years now.
7 years. Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
And so how was growing up with your family? How was that? Because now you're in a very let's say a spiritual or a blissful path. But I wonder how was growing up. Were they spiritually oriented at all?
Actually, my mom, yes, she introduced me to this living the spiritual path.
Hmm.
And then when I was like 14 years old, I started to read spiritual books. And I was just couldn't stop. I read all the books, which was translated to Hungarian because
Do you
at
know
that
any?
time,
Do you remember any of the titles or any like topic of those books? Were they like Christian or what kind of spiritual books were they?
oh, there were the one what I remember. It was Creon.
Oh
It
wow.
was a channeling book, and there was a lot more, but it was it was a long time ago, so I don't remember that much. And and with this started my spiritual path.
Mhm.
And I had periods of my life when I was just a little bit concentrated more to the material world because I had to do it. And
Mhm.
but I always went back to this growing process. But I'll tell you the truth, this path is so huge, and you never get to the end, so it's always something to develop, and this
Okay.
is so beautiful.
Hmm. So, what were they saying once you started reading like a book like Cryon or even your friends? I can't imagine like probably the rest were reading Disney or the equivalent of whatever they were reading there, and you were reading Cryon and channelings and yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm get used to that I never can share
Mhm.
my experiences with anybody because of course, as you say, at that time my friends interested to other things, and for me this is where the main point. And I hated read, but when I started to read the kind of book which is really interested me, I was just so passionate about it. And before I started to go to parties, and then before I went to any party, I did my meditation at home. So it was I was different than the others. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So since a young age, you knew you were on a very special path, which we are all, but you were aware, you remembered. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I guess. Yes.
Um, so when did you started feeling that you were not, besides the books you were reading, when was the moment you were learning that you were not as your other friends, because they were probably, as you said, they were partying, and which were some of the things you were like doing or feeling that made you feel that you were on this path?
Actually, when I started to read this book, I needed this to get some initiation, but then I some channels opened in me, and
Mm.
then I can connect really easily through my meditations. And yeah, I was different than the others, but for me it was natural.
Mm.
So I didn't think on it that I'm
Mm.
different than others. I just get used to it, not to share this kind of experience with
Mm.
anybody. um Nothing, I
Mm.
was okay with like this.
Okay, and there was no moment of being a little bit afraid when once those channels started opening within you, like because it was like probably a big shock for a young girl that you were back then?
I always and still at the moment I'm every experience what I had, it was so beautiful, and I never had any bad or scary experience.
Okay.
So that's why I don't have it.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks. I think probably many of our listeners, and I find this a lot with girls, that they tend to have this experience or uh, out of the norm feelings, but many of them, they get afraid, even though it could be beautiful, because probably they didn't read those books on the right time, and they didn't know how to explain them, and they've been probably like even afraid. As you say, you cannot share it with everybody, but they've been almost thinking, sometimes people think they're going crazy. Do you have any advice for people that start feeling these symptoms, let's say?
Yes, when you are going deeper in this path, sometimes it seems that you are crazy, but always I was now, thank you to the internet, I always could get information from other people who has the same development on changing in their life. So and then I started didn't feel that it's I'm strange. But as I say to you, all the experience what I had, it was so beautiful, and I was just felt so I just felt from inside that this is the way to go.
Okay.
And also, if I have any trouble or problem or something what I want to know in my life, I always do a meditation and connect with other beings who help me, and everything is solved. So normally, if I have any question, I'm going inside and not seeking outside.
When you say that you connect with other beings and you call in for help or aid or support, it sounds like like a like a like a movie or like a superhero. I call in the beings of light and they come help me. But you know, the more I'm also learning on this path, and the more I'm learning that it's actually totally normal and that they're always waiting for us, but sometimes we're looking the other way, I say. Um, what would you say was the hardest thing about growing up with your family? Do you have any interesting story to share? Because I guess you had cousins or whatever, and you were in your own path. Do you have any like interesting story or moment to share with us?
Well, thank you for this spiritual openness. It's like a bless in one way, but the other way, the earth living, it's sometimes difficult or hard for me. In the aspect, for example, that I always was very sensitive for lots of things, and first I didn't understand why. I just had symptoms that something is not going good, and I went to doctors and alternative medicines and stuff like this, but nothing happened. And then now I know everything, and I know why it was, but I never could live like a normal life, or what you say normal, that like other people. I always need to be conscious, have to live and have to do things. I'm okay with this, but first I didn't know why I have that kind of symptoms. For example, with the food, I always had allergies. I always had digestive problems. A lot of time I had to go to home for school because I had really stomach pain. And also for the energies and other people, I feel everything, and I'm so sensible for it too.
Okay. And did your parents understand that you were actually sensitive to those foods? Or because it happens a lot that young children, they don't want to eat things, and they can say, oh, the girl is just being picky, or she has an eating disorder. Could they understand your necessities?
Tell you the truth, living in a family with my parents, it was hard in this way, although my mother is a spiritual open, but not that much, and they couldn't understand the kind of things, and still not. What happened, I'm living independently without them, and with my new family, and I'm doing what I want, and I don't share that part with them because I know that it would be scare them. They don't understand. Since I moved out from my parents, everything went more easily. And also until when I was living with them, I get used to ask everything from my mother, because I really saw her like not a god, but she's upper than me, and any advice she can give me. But since I'm living alone, I realized that the things is not like this, and better to feel and hear my intuition and go on my way.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, food is always a very special topic when dealing with family. It's it can create a lot of arguments, or at least difference. And I've always
Exactly.
learned to just keep it to myself, and just if anything, share by example, not by preaching.
Exactly. Yes.
So I have you on my cell phone contacts as Adrienn LivingonLight, and that's your website, Adrienn LivingonLight. And you got the name, or you call yourself like that because you're a breatharian, and that's the topic of this one of the main topics of this interview. What does it mean to be a breatharian?
So I don't like when people say me that I'm a Breatharian. I prefer to use less, yes, I'm living on light.
Living in light.
And this is because I don't want to say that that I'm not eating anything. And but yes, the main energy what I get is from light. And yes, what was the question? How is it?
What does it mean to live on light, let's say, or be a breatharian, or pranic living?
Okay. Okay. At 2016, I had like in a transformation. As I mentioned to you, I had lots of food allergies and different kind of stuff. I tried different kind of diet, and the last one what I tried, it was a raw vegan diet. And then I went to be fruitarian and monomilling and stuff like this. And it was better being on that diet than before, but it couldn't solve my problems either. And then in 2016, I had like a spiritual enlightenment, spiritual transformation. And how can I say to you? I did like a retreat by my own at home, because I'm a mother, and my child at that time had 2 years. So I first I didn't want to separate myself from my family a long time, and I couldn't do it either because I was still breastfeeding her.
Okay.
And so I did my retreat at home, and the first day when I started the retreat, I started with the fast. I was just consuming juices, fruit juices and vegetable juices. And then I went to just water, and then I had some day when I didn't consume anything. But at the first day, when I started to meditate, other being contacted to me from other dimensions, higher dimensions, and they started to work on my body. And I had like a transformation. They changed my 3D body to another body, a light body, and I got this body, and then they continued to work on my bodies 1 month later, during 1 month. And they was just preparing things, or how you say it, on this new body,
Yeah, preparing.
doing checkings and working on me. I felt it came every Wednesday when I had this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just nothing. I couldn't do anything during a few hours, and I just felt how they working on me.
Wow.
They opened a lot of channel on me, and they settled this new body in the world that I can live since then in this new body.
Oh wow.
But the thing happened that it happened, but my mind couldn't do this changing that quickly. So I needed to time as my mind, with my mind and my ego and my with my physical energy body that can go with this quick and big changing. So I needed to time until I can really settle this new body, and I can started to live in this new body.
Oh wow. So you were just to go back to the retreat you were doing. So you were doing juice, pure juice, or diluted with water? Was it pure?
First pure juice,
Then
but
water?
yeah, but I was after the fruitarian diet, I had like intolerance for fruits.
Oh wow.
So I was really sensitive for fruits. I couldn't eat them without had any symptoms. So I quickly changed the juices to really delighted juices, and then I went to water.
Okay. And then you said you were for a month being prepared, or let's say examined and upgraded. I would say upgraded by these light beings. What were you having? Because you stopped eating on the third day. So you were not eating anything for during that month of preparation, or were you having water or something else?
I was like changing between water and don't consume anything. I had days when I didn't consume anything, and I had days when I consume water. And it lasted, okay, the preparation of my body, it was like 1 month, but being just in water or nothing, it lasted like 3 months after.
Okay. And
And meanwhile I
energy
was still
levels?
breastfeeding.
Energy
Excuse me.
levels? How were your energy levels during that month or 3 months?
Tell you the truth, I didn't have a lot. I was really struggling, and that's why after this I started to eat a cooked vegan diet, and I became really ill. I just felt that my body it's really struggling, and I started to gain a lot of weight, and I wasn't okay. And then I connected again, and I stopped eating, and since then I understand it that forcing something, it's either good. So I had to find my own balance. And now what I'm doing, if I don't want to eat anything, then I don't do, and if I want to eat, then I eat. Also, at the moment I'm eating more than I really want to do it, because as living in a family with my new family, actually my husband doesn't understand, and I don't share with him what happened with me. And when we sit together eating weekends or something like this, then I eat with them, share food with them.
Okay.
Because I didn't want it during this fruitarian diet, raw vegan diet, and vegan diet, and always was a really unique person. Everybody was laughing on me and don't understand, and I wasn't feel balanced sitting at a table and don't consume anything. It wasn't balanced. It's, you feel the other people what they thinking, and you are just struggling too. So I now just let it, and I really go through my intuition. And that's why I don't like when people saying you are a Breatharian. Yes, you use this word that everybody knows
Mm-hmm.
to put in the box,
Yeah, yeah, a label.
But for lots of people wants to be a breatharian, and it's they force it, and then they had eating disorder or any kind of disorder from this, and imbalances and illness is coming because they are not doing from the heart, and then if you are not doing from your heart, you are doing from ego or from other things, then it's not working, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not and it won't help you. It will be the other part.
Mm-hmm. So you just said that now you're eating more, a little bit more, even though you don't really want, but you're probably eating for your baby or because of social. So how does it look eating more? What do you eat usually if you sit down on a Saturday with your family? What will Adrienn eat on a Saturday with family? Let's say.
On Saturday, when I eat the most on weekends, because my family eating 3 times a week, so I sit with them and eating 3 times a week, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But after the weekend, I really looking forward the Monday when I'm again be alone and I can connect. I need to balance my body after the weekend because
Mm-hmm.
this the kind of foods are really ground me down.
Mm-hmm.
I try to escape myself from the foods when I can, but there is situation when I cannot.
Mm.
I don't have a regularity. I don't have a system that
Yeah.
I'm doing like this, that. No, normally I do what this moment I feel to do.
Mm-hmm. And what could that be like? Would you eat like? Are you eating like vegan or just eating anything or what? Or like what would you eat? What would be in your plate?
I eat cheese now
Uh-huh.
and sometimes fish,
Okay. Okay.
but meat no.
Okay. And it will be like small portions, I guess, when you
I eat big portions when I'm very low and I'm not spiritually connected,
yeah.
and I'm eat small portions when I really enlightened, when I
Yeah.
really aligned
And then
and I'm connected.
okay.
It's all depends on
Mhm.
on this. Yeah.
And the rest of the week, like today is Monday, you do you drink any water or is it like nothing or
Now I'm pregnant,
yeah.
so my eating habits it's changed than before. Before I'm getting pregnant, I ate way less than now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm consume more liquids now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just go again with the flow. What my body I feel that needs, so I don't force anything. And today I just had 2 cups of water.
Mm.
But I always feel what my body
Okay.
needs.
Good.
But it compared from with my other pregnancy, what I had before, because during my other pregnancy I wasn't a breatharian,
Mm-hmm.
so I ate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And compared this, it's a huge difference, and I
Okay.
like another word. I just feel how this soul inside me also really enlightened, and this soul also don't need the physical food.
Okay.
But I don't want that my kids, so when this new this baby will born, I don't want that they don't consume food,
Okay.
because it would be difficulty in the society
Mm-hmm.
to accept them.
Mm-hmm.
So I always my daughter, I always fed my daughter. I'm not forcing her. I'm just asking what she wants to eat, and then I prepare herself. But she is eating,
Mm-hmm.
and this baby will eating too. And I want that they have a decision by this when they
Mm-hmm.
will be big. enough to have decisions.
Okay.
And not depends from the society that
Yeah.
much, because now we are living in a family with my husband, and we need to do like a balance like this together.
Yeah. So you said your husband, it's for him hard, I guess, no, to like, okay, I want to take you out for dinner, and really it's like taking himself out for dinner. Um, does he support you in this path, or it's just like it's your thing, Adrienn? Like,
He supports me, but I feel that inside it's scary for him. He doesn't understand. He don't know. He doesn't know anybody with the same thinking, with the same living, and he cannot understand this.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because personally, like I also did. I still eat, let's say, 80-90% raw vegan, and I went 1 year in fruits, and I loved it. It was so fun, so colorful. Uh, Thankfully, I don't have any food intolerance or allergies. I definitely noticed that eating like that made me feel way lighter, and like I'm a very grounded person. My partner on the other end, she's very airy fairy, let's say. So with fruits, she will just fly away, and with me, it will help me elevate me a little bit more because I'm very earth. And I loved it, but definitely it was hard socially. Like we were sitting on a bench on the street with half watermelon, eating half watermelon. And I know you know that feeling. And then go for dinner with somebody, and we will eat like 10 bananas, and they'll be like, "You are monkeys. What's wrong with you?" So we end up going back to more vegan or raw vegan food, just because of the social aspect, I guess, because we now we're spending more time in the Western world instead of in the jungle in Bali or whatever. So I think it depends where you are. It's easier and the community. But I've always had this thought about maybe transitioning into prana, because for me it doesn't phase me. I know it's totally possible. When I've done 60 days of grape juice, I will be dry fasting 20 hours out of the day, and then I will have my grape juice, mostly just to abide with okay, I need to have my grape juice. But I was doing sport, hiking, and I had no issues. So I was like, what is even food? That's when my first thoughts were like, what does food really mean? Are we just doing it because of uh, we were taught that we need food, or do we really need food? And I guess it goes aligned with your practice. And that's why I was asking you about your husband and your relationship with your family, because that's the only thing for me that has been keeping me like, oh, but if it's already weird for most of my friends and circles for me to have vegan food, not even raw vegan, like vegan, are you not going to have steak or this or that? If I suddenly tell them I don't eat, they're going to go like crazy. They're going to call the police on me.
For me, it was being a Breatharian. It's way more healthy to my body than before, when I was in a fruitarian diet or raw vegan diet or any kind of diet, because there you are eating always.
Yeah.
And here I have periods when I don't consume anything, and my body can rest and also can heal, and that feel that this energy what can absorb from the environment, and it's so healing spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything is just wow. And I let a space to my body to absorb this energy, and that's why I'm feeling much better like this than when I was eating every day. And that's why I said to you that when it's weekend or we are going to for holiday, for me it's like wow. Lots of time I'm really when it will finish, because it's really hard for me uh, to share like this with them. And like this, that I don't have food a long period, and then I have a food when I want to taste at that moment. So it can be anything, because then I have again a long period when my body can heal and can clean, and I don't feel any symptoms of this food what I consuming, because then it cleans out everything.
Mm-hmm.
And about the energy aspect, I really get energy when I'm in the nature, when I'm alone, when I'm in silence, when I meditate. For me, this is or when I'm doing sport. I love running and doing sports since I'm living like this. Before it was so hard for me, but then it's just wow change, and I can run whatever I want. I always stop because I don't have more time for running, and it's just amazing. And also when I'm doing sport, I always doing in nature. I'm in nature a lot of time, and I just feel how my body is energized itself. And when I'm eating food, I eat food for two aspects. One is a social event that I don't want. I want balanced energy around me, and not like people thinking bad from me or stuff like this. So this is one aspect, and the other aspect that it's really helped me ground. When I eat something, I'm living like a certain frequency, and I'm okay with like this, but living in a society, and I have a normal job, and I have to take care of my family. I'm cooking, I doing a grocery and everything for them. So it's sometimes it's really helped me to ground myself, and when I eat something, it really do its job. And also about the information, my work now, it's to share everything what I channel from other dimensions. But before it, I couldn't do it because I was just leaving it for my own. I was experimenting it, but I couldn't take it to the earth and share it. So I need to be around myself a little bit more to can take all this information and channels to others.
I want to touch upon that topic in a second, but you were saying running, and that's another thing. When I'm like thinking, should I acknowledge more this transition, because I know it's happening within me already, but I recently started doing more sport than ever. I feel that I've been doing more sport this year than my entire life, and I also eat less than, even though I'm like 80% fruits and raw vegan, whatever. I don't put labels. I just eating really fresh food. And here right now I'm in the south of Spain also, and I'm eating a lot of papayas and whatnot.
Yes, it's important not using labels.
Exactly,
because it's really limitation.
Yeah, because I don't even call myself vegan, because there's lots of bad things attached with vegans, I guess. I used to eat a lot all day, because many fruitarians eat all day, and that's how I started. But now I really understand that eating little and just nourishing myself more from sunbathing and exercise. My question is, and you kind of answered it, that you can run as much as you want, because I would like to start running more and more. But I'm like, how much can Adrienn run? Because if you are mostly pranic, let's say, but you say that you get nourished by running because you're running in nature, and you're like doing photosynthesis while running, we could say, right? And you don't feel tired at all, like regular tired, I guess.
Actually, the people have this thinking that when you are doing physical sport, you need more energy and you need to feed yourself more. And it was funny because I went running one morning, and I came back and my family was eating breakfast, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat. And my husband said, but you went running for an hour, you should eat, you need to eat or drink at least. And here you are. And I couldn't drink, I couldn't eat. I was just so okay and enjoying this bzzz in my body of the energies. But if you are remembering at the school when we learned physics, they teach that every movement generate energy. So it's the same with our body.
Wow.
Why would be different? If you are seeing physics, then it's the same. So if you are doing physical movement, then you will have more energy. The thing is, when people are eating or stuck with the toxins, the body, when you are doing any kind of physical activity, it's so hard because of these toxins in your body. You can do it, and it's so exhausted. And also when you are doing sport, all the energy system balance itself. I'm speaking doing sport in nature, okay, not
Yeah, yeah.
in an artificial gym and just running on the treadmill. So if you are doing any sport in nature, then all your energy system is balanced itself, all the chakras and everything, and you get energized. And if your body is stuck with the toxins, first you cannot do that much sport because you are so tired. And the second one, it's all this movement, it's when coming a wind or something like this, everything is the scan. It starts to blow up,
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
starts to come to the superficie, and then you feel exhausted, and you think that you need to feed yourself again to get energy.
Well, I guess it's like those uh, sounds or grumps that your belly makes sometimes, and people think it's because they're starving, but it's just a bowel movement, I guess. So
No, it's just our system, our body, it's like a compost. You know
yeah,
what it means?
yeah, yeah,
When you first start to do a compost, it doesn't work. It's not working. So you need to put more vegetables, more fruit,
yeah.
and a certain time that is it has enough bacteria inside, and it can dissolve itself, the fruits and vegetables what you
Mm.
are putting in the compost. It's the same with our body. We started to feed ourselves, but in somehow it has to be dissolved in our system.
Mm-hmm.
So we have candida, we have bacteria, viruses, what doing the digestive function and
Mm.
dissolves all this kind of food.
Mm.
And that's why when you are not, you have a balance of these bacteria in your gut, and when you stop eating or you are just doing a fast, first these bacteria is starving, and they are just dying there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you feel and hear that you have
Oh wow.
a bowel moment.
Oh wow. So you are a practicing naturopath, a holistic coach, health coach, and a channeler. Let's start with a health coach. What do people approach you for? What kind of service do you offer under this umbrella?
I wanted to connect with people who are not open spiritually that much.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have any kind of illnesses, or I wanted to teach them how to eat healthy intuitively. But if you have to say just with one word, I want to teach the people how to live from their heart.
Oh wow, wow.
And
And
that's why I started to do health coaching. I'm a nutritionist too,
mm,
and I'm doing a nutrition coaching for them. But it's not a normal coaching that don't eat bread or meat or stuff like this. All this coaching session is personalized, because I connect with the person's higher self, and I channel what this person needs to can change her diet in a balanced way
mm,
intuitively.
it reminds me. Do you know the medical medium?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Anthony Williams. So I guess it's something like that. No, you get the information from source. Even though he made a script for everybody, but I guess yours is like one-on-one from the source. That's awesome.
Exactly, but for example, a medical medium, it didn't work for me. I was drinking this celery juice and stuff like this, and it didn't help me, and it was worse. So it's I'm treating more to connect with the heart and then eating from the heart, because if we are seeing any kind of food which we eat, it's dead food. It won't give us energy. What can give the food what you are eating life force energy is the love how you eat. So you can eat any kind of organic lettuce. If you hate this, the energies and the vibration what you are eating and swallow, it's hate and not love, and you are in imbalance.
Yeah. Oh wow. I know you just said that you don't do like, there's not a set protocol, but if somebody listening to this was like, okay, I want to start eating healthier, or what could be like some steps somebody could follow to start eating healthier and feel vibrant energy?
If more dense food you are eating, more grounded you will be. So the thing is to get connection with your higher self by your own and get more connected. To get this, you need to little by little lighter your diet. If you are a very heavy meat eater, so you just quit meat and choose vegetarian. But also not like this that I'm vegetarian. If you really crave meat, at that moment you have to eat it, but always eat consciously, not programmed unconscious way.
Have your light beings said anything about eating animal products?
No, as I said to you, all food is that food.
Yeah.
And if I see like this, all food which I'm eating, it's not served me. It's not it's bad. What can serve me? It's if I'm doing this with love.
With love.
And if you really want to eat meat, then you should do it.
Okay.
For me, especially for me personally, I don't feel it. But if I would, I would do it. And it's happened the same with fish. I'm living here in South Spain, and my husband wants to go to eat fish all the time. And if I feel that I want to eat that thing on the plate, then I have it. If I don't feel, I don't do it.
Okay. Well, nice.
And like this, I'm eating with love,
With
and I
love.
elevate the vibration of the food what I'm eating.
So the key word will be eating with love, eating aware, eating consciously, and as you said, even if you're eating organic lettuce, it can become the most poisonous lettuce. Or even if you're eating a pesticide treated lettuce, it can become organic because all the love you put into it. Yeah, that gives us so
This
much
is what
power.
happened with me. I was so obsessed with organic food, with fruits, everything what I was eating, but I wasn't healthy and I was struggling. And the life is always took me to my path and show me things that this is not working, Adrienne. Go to another way. And since I'm living from love, living on light, it's living by love.
Living my love.
It's like this.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So we should change the term breatharian to like something loveitarians, or something that you live exclusively in love. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's why I started to do my retreats about the Lightbody activations. And I'm doing Lightbody activations like I'm working on this retreat as a medium. And I help in the activations, the birth of the light body of every being who comes to the retreat. But then it lasts 7 days, and then it past few days when they learn how to align this new body and have to live with this new body and how to energize this body, this new body. But then it's not the point to being a Breatharian. You will be more conscious and you will automatically eat less, but you will learn live by love, and you will do everything by love. And as your frequency will be love, then then you will feel and see changes also in your body, in your environment. For example, I never get sick since this transformation. If I eat something which wasn't so aligned with my being, then I have a little headache, and I can handle it in 5 minutes. And my daughter changed a lot. I see changing on my daughter, on my husband, like energetically.
Wow. So basically, even though it's you who is doing this living on light, your aura, your energetic field, your magnetic field is affecting all the beings around you, and I guess around the world, because they can see you also now on your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, it's always like energy changing, and even on a video or something like this, or just a voice. If you see somebody or hear somebody, get the vibration of this person, and it can heal anything and anyone, and it can balance the energy if somebody has imbalances.
So these retreats that you do, the main topic is light body activation. So what will be like a quick definition of what a light body activation is? Because imagine somebody signs up and they ask me, so where are you going? I'm going to do a light body activation. What does it mean?
If you want to explain in a physical word, if you have a mobile phone, and you want to charge the mobile phone and to connect the mobile phone to a charger, and then you change the charger and then connect to the other charger. Or for example, if you had a normal mobile, and then you buy a newer mobile, what has a better camera, you can download more apps, like to a better mobile. So it's the same with our body. Actually, when you have a three-dimensional body, it's really limited, and if you are on a spiritual path and you always try to heal yourself, your past, and the memories what has this body, because you were born by humans here, and then these humans gave you the education and they programmed you and the school and everything. So this body has a lot in the subconsciousness. And you just you're just doing energy healings, and you meditate, and you can do every hypnosis and every kind of things. You want to repair this 3D body, but it's you can do something, but it's impossible to repair. It's always be struggling. When your being it's enlightened that much, you are ready to get another body. And since 2012 we have an opportunity, or the earth is prepared that more conscious being can living here on the earth, and you can change the vibration of your being. But for doing this, you cannot lift up that much a 3D dimensional body consciousness. So it's you need to change your manifestation, your body, to an upgraded one.
Wow. So we're basically upgrading from the 3D to the higher self version, where we can download the coolest apps in the world, which are not physical, and where food comes from love, and love creates abundance and a reality.
Exactly. I don't want to use like dimensions. It's higher dimensions than the 4 dimensions. Yeah. But as every being is different, your light body will be aligned with your being at that moment. And if we develop like this, it will come again the moment when we again need to change our manifestation.
Wow, so much information there.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a couple questions as a medium and like channeler that you are?
Yes, but now I stopped all this work like this. I'm channeling things like because I cannot stop it,
Yeah.
but not naturally, which I'm coming to
Yeah.
me and,
Yeah.
and I say things because when I'm pregnant, I cannot use this kind of
Okay.
energy.
Sounds fair. So many people are talking about going now into the fifth dimension, or that we are already there. We just have to become aware.
Yeah.
Any tips for people to transition into that awareness of higher dimension or fifth dimension, if you want to put a label, something like that?
If you are interested to this, or once in your life you heard about this and you don't say that it's a stupid thing, you are really open to it, then it's a sign that you are ready for it. You can you can go preparing like this, that every time you're eating less, you try to live consciously, but the birth, it had to happen. What somebody need to help you in this shift, in this changing. It can be like happened with me, that other beings who are not here in the physical world, they started to work on my body, and they did on me, and then later I got the message that I have to work with this and help people in this transformation. But actually, who are doing this transformation is not me. It's going through me. I just hold the energy physically and ground all these energies and help in the process.
Interesting. Um, and what maybe the light beings have shown you some light of where we're going as society. What's up with us? Where are we going? Are we to expect good things to happen? Is there like a global shift of consciousness happening, or is it more localized? Because I find that many communities, Bali, maybe south of Spain, Granada, or whatever, there's lots of communities popping up, but are we definitely heading on the right way, or should we be doing more work to really make it tangible?
I think, and I feel that this shift, this changing is coming so quickly, and
Very
the
quickly.
change on the change on the world is just amazing. As I say to you, I everything seeing through love. So for me, it's just amazing, and the society is doing so good, and lots of people are changing. As I mentioned, for example, my husband and my daughter, they are doing it subconsciously. They don't know, they're not aware what is happening, but I see on them, and I know, and they just changing like this, and I have friends who are not spiritual open, nothing, and when I'm connect with them, when I speak with them, just from a daily life or a weather or nothing, I see the changing on them too. So it's just you spread this energy, and the more light worker waking up nowadays. So the energy is just so powerful.
Thank you. So, because you're pregnant, you're not offering your 6-day retreat, but coming up 2020, you'll be offering again your Lightbody activation retreats. In the meantime, people can contact you to get some health coach and some detox diet maybe, or even not channeling, because that's people have to wait for 2020. Would you, if you had one message to share with, I know you've been kind of saying it through the podcast, one simple message that you can share with the entire world, something that maybe it's like your contribution for the world, what would it be?
Open your heart, do a meditation with your heart chakra. This is the most important thing. And everything what you are doing, do by love. If you are doing at your life which you don't like, it's a sign that you need to change.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Maybe I can ask you for a heart meditation down the road later. We'll chat later so people can experience what a heart opening meditation could be. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll add your website to the description so people can reach you out, and I'll add your YouTube channel also because you have amazing videos with information. Thank you so much for joining us, for all the contribution you're doing, and just for showing us what the life of somebody living on love looks like. And I'm excited to meet you one day in person soon.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you so much, Jose, for this amazing work, what you are doing. And it's really helps to the society to waking up. And all this blessing is going to you too. So it's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.